European markets, bank stocks were the hardest hit, dragged down by Societe Generale to the lowest level since the credit crisis. Investors are in real doubt over France's creditworthiness.
Well, now the country's second biggest lender is demanding an investigation. We've got our Elliott Gotkine in Paris. Elliott, any actual reason for SocGen and other banks to drop by so much, or was it purely rumours?
Linz, it does appear to just be rumour. People seem to be selling on the rumour and waiting to see if maybe eventually the facts catch up with them. I was even receiving Twitter messages from people saying that they'd heard that Standard & Poor's was going to strip France of its AAA credit rating. Yet, you know, S&P, Fitch and Moody's had come out and said that that wasn't going to happen, reaffirming France's top credit rating at the same time. There are some genuine concerns, though, about France's banks, be it their mammoth exposure to sovereign debt from the likes of Greece, Ireland and Portugal, more than any other countries' banks in the Eurozone, be it fears about another credit crunch that we were talking about yesterday, tougher regulation or even French economic growth. But certainly SocGen was in no mood to allow any of these rumours to stand. It, as you say, put out a statement last night categorically and vigorously denying all market rumours. It said it expected solid results in the future. It had low exposure to peripheral Eurozone debt. Almost all of its financing needs were in place for next year. And as you say, it called for an investigation to try to find the source of these rumours that wiped off so much value from Societe Generale and other French banks' share prices.
And Elliott, I suppose, given the amount of volatility there is in the markets generally, you've got to ask, just where do we go from here?
Well, the banks, I guess, can just keep trying to reassure the market. Certainly the French government's trying to do its part. This is President Nicolas Sarkozy. You can see on the front page there, financial crisis. It says Sarkozy prepares his response. That response included interrupting his summer holiday and that of his Prime Minister, Budget Minister and Finance Minister, and telling them to come up with new austerity measures within a week in order to ensure that France can hit its budget deficit target of 3% of GDP over the next 2 years.
Yeah, that's not going to be exactly easy, though, certainly when you've got to think about what France actually needs to do to keep that AAA.
Oh, and it comes down to basically two things, and they're related. It's growth and debt. Tomorrow we've got GDP figures for France. If French growth appears to be slower than people are expecting, that could impair its ability to try to meet its budget deficit target of 3% of GDP by 2013. I suppose the other thing is, of course, we've got a presidential election next year, and the run-up to a presidential election is not usually the most propitious for launching swinging budget cuts. Doesn't usually go down particularly well with the electorate, and I'm sure the French electorate in particular would not be too pleased with that. And then also, obviously, after the elections, the ratings agencies will be watching keenly to ensure that responsible fiscal policies remain in place and that France remains on target to meet its budget deficit targets and indeed its overall debt to GDP targets, guys.